Hello, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Music Business Academy in Berlin. And it's really a pleasure for me to kick off this musical journey with one of the well-known artists in the scene. He released in so many labels. I could spend an entire interview naming that, but I think it's better if we talk with him. Hello, Emanuel.
Hi.
Thanks
Hi.
a lot for joining us. Thanks a
for
lot
having
for
me.
to join us actually in the last minute. So we are really happy, and yeah, let's start. Let's start this, and yeah, let us know to the people who maybe doesn't know you, who you are, and which kind of role do you have in the industry in the nightlife.
Yeah, my name is Emanuel Satie. I'm a DJ and producer out of Berlin, Germany, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, great. I'm sure like you guys know him really well, and I just want to ask you, how were your first steps in the music industry, like back in the days? How did you get into this wonderful world, and why did you move to Berlin?
Well, first steps really in the industry is, I mean, obviously, like my musical story goes back to way back to my childhood and playing several instruments at school and all that stuff. But the first time I really kind of entered the industry, I would say, was a few small gigs in Frankfurt and the surrounding area, Stuttgart, doing my own parties and all that stuff on a more amateur level. But the first steps I made in the industry was because I got the attention of DJ T actually from Get Physical. And he supported some music of mine, and I wrote him on Facebook and was like, "Hey, thanks for supporting my stuff." He said, "Hey, actually, Emanuel, send me your music. I would love to sign something for Get Physical." And that went so well, the first release on Get Physical, that then he asked me if I could be his engineer at the studio, his ghost producer, so to speak.
Okay.
And that's why I moved to Berlin also, because he gave me the opportunity to work on a monthly basis together with him in the studio, pay me for it, which allowed me to afford paying my bills here in Berlin, living in Berlin. And yeah, those were my first steps in the music industry and the reason why I moved to Berlin at the same time.
Actually, it's a really good reason, especially with when this kind of like labels and owners as DJT contact you and want to support you at the same time, bring you the chance to come to this kind of cities. It's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and talking about your routine, how you are as a person in the way, like also not also music and producer, also like, do you have any routine that you like to do, or you are more?
Yeah, I do have a routine, like the normal day. I would say my normal day looks like I wake up in the morning, have a coffee, read a little bit the newspaper, and then I go to the studio. And my big thing is I don't take the phone with me to the studio. So I leave the phone at home, leave it on flight mode at home, and I work until I get hungry for lunch. Just work on music, and then I come back, and only then I switch on the phone and take care of emails. Go back to the studio, obviously. But I have this fixed routine in the morning that first thing I do is without anything on my mind, just a free open mind. I go to the studio, no phone, no emails, and I just work on music and just on creative stuff. But obviously, I think it's super important not to get too fixated on a routine because we're in a creative, we're creative, so we need to stay flexible always. So I like to also break that routine sometimes and sometimes just do whatever I want, and yeah, whatever works. It's also kind of an intuitive thing.
Yeah, actually, that was the next question. Like, you are more like a structured person, or you sometimes just follow your flow and see what's going on, what the day brings to you, you know, because I know so many people who like to like, okay, in the morning I do this and in the evening, blah, blah. But so how do you will describe yourself? More like a flow person, or more like you have this kind of season of the year, like you like to more be more structured to yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, the season of the year plays a role. I think in winter and autumn, I'm more structured. Summer is always more social, more, you know, there's also more gigs, more traveling and all that stuff. So it's hard to keep a routine or structure up. But I think I would actually say I'm both, because it's cool to have a routine that works for you. But when you see the opportunity, for example, if I have a great idea at the studio and I know, wow, this sounds really good, then nothing else exists. I just throw everything on that idea and I try to finish it, whatever it takes. And I ignore any call or any other obligation, because at the end of the day, my career, so to speak, relies on me making good tracks.
Good music, yeah.
Yeah,
course.
that's the most important thing. That's the core business. And so when I see, okay, there's the opportunity to make a good track, then I try to use that energy and just go with the flow and try to finish it.
Yeah, actually the phone sometimes play like a enemy for us, you know, because we are like so dependent of social media, and we are like, one of the things that I need to change, for example, is when to wake up, you go directly to your phone to switch off the alarm, but at the same time you see all the notification of Instagram, and it's like sometimes like not healthy at all.
Yeah. It's not healthy, and it's just the worst for your focus. So there are these studies about attention and about multitasking.
Exactly.
We always heard about multitasking, which means doing two things at once, and it seems like a smart idea.
Yeah, of course.
But actually, multitasking doesn't exist for the brain. The brain can only focus on one thing at the time. So when you do things at the same time, actually what the brain is doing is switching from one task to the other all the time, back and forth.
Yeah, I know.
And the thing is, when you make music or when you do whatever and you check your phone just for 1 minute, 30 seconds, your brain is already at this new task, you know? And when you go back, you need, again, time to get into making music.
And to get
exactly.
Exactly.
So it's my notification. I don't have notifications on my phone.
You switch off? Yeah.
Even when my phone is on, when I don't get the ping from Instagram, you know, because I only see what's happening on Instagram when I go on Instagram. So no notifications, because it's for my workflow and for my focus, it's the worst. So
you know, like now there is a lot of artists who are like changing, and the evolution of the sound is like getting crazy, you know, because sometimes some people get bored about like, I don't know, house, techno, and they change to other one. And I need to say, like, when I heard you for the first time, and actually I cannot remember the label, but I remember there was a really good techie drum hi-hat track that was a remix actually. So what I want to ask you is like how you will define your sound and how you will explain to the people like how it was the evolution of Emanuel Satie over the last year, going from this let's say tech house to what you are doing right now, more focused on labels like, for example, Cocoon or Crosstown Rebels. Like how you will and why you changed, and how was for you the internal process?
Yeah, that's a good question, to be honest. I think first of all, I think it's normal that as an artist you develop, you know, you get new interests, and for me it was just the tech house sound, or in general this very housey sound. Just didn't. I wanted to try something new. I wanted to develop a new skill set. I also got more into synthesizers and outboard equipment and also music theory. I was learning a lot about harmonies, melodies, and I just wanted to make music that's more musical. And I would say that was the first starting point away from my earlier tech house sound, was to do stuff that was a bit more musical. I worked together more with musicians and yeah, then there came the sound design synth aspect to it, and for me the right sound, the natural sound, was then just this, I would say, melodic house that I'm doing now. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people say never change your sound, or stay in your lane, stay in what people know you for. But music, it needs to be fun. It needs to be, yeah. I don't want to just do music with only marketing thoughts in my head and branding thoughts. So I just do whatever I feel, and whatever I like, as long as it's also true to myself. And I think there are definitely similarities in the sound. Like, it's still organic. You still have the organic elements, the shakers,
especially the shakers.
Yeah, the shakers.
I like your shakers.
Yeah, exactly. So there's still, I would still say you can see that you can hear that it's still me, but it developed into something else for sure. And to be honest, I was thinking at that time, I was kind of scared of that step, because I was like, are people gonna like this? People gonna accept me with this sound? Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of managers and whatever tell you, don't change your sound. Just go for this. But yeah, almost if you look at pop music or in general musicians that have really long careers, like they always change their sound. They always develop into something new. You have to, otherwise it gets boring. People lose interest.
Of course. And you need to take the risk.
You need to take the risk, and you need to always do what you're passionate about, what the music you're interested in. You need to go for it. And maybe that's also an advice for any of the students, is to ignore these thoughts and to just really do what they want to do the sound they want to go for. But of course, then figure out how can I be good at that also.
Exactly.
And I think that's the important thing, is that it's good, because if it's not good, then of course it doesn't work.
Yeah, but you're feeling like in the middle of nothing, no?
Yeah, exactly. But if it's good, I think it doesn't matter. People like good music, like good tracks.
And talking about because you have a lot of experience approaching to labels, and this is one of the things, like, some people struggle, especially in the beginning, the newcomers, like how to approach a label. So how you will say, like, an artist should approach or like get in contact with labels? Like, sometimes it's quite difficult, but how, from your experience, will tell to someone, okay, these are the steps, like, maybe you can. How was for you?
I mean, honestly, it's super hard. Like, there's no shortcut, except for you know the guy, or someone who knows the guy. But the reality is, you have to probably release first on smaller labels.
Exactly.
And then build your way up. Make a name for yourself, so that the people with the bigger labels actually are looking for you. But there's also always the chance you get lucky.
Yeah, of course, I agree.
And you always need to try. So what I always did, for example, the first time I sent out demos, the first time I had like 4 tracks finished, what I did was, back then people still were still playing CDs and stuff,
exactly.
So I was just printing on a CD printer. I printed 70 CDs.
Okay.
70 CDs.
Old school, eh?
Old school. It was a lot of money, because I also printed like my name on it, the track listing, because I wanted it
like
to look nice.
Like a proper present, no? Like, exactly, please, like, enjoy.
Exactly.
Okay.
And for me back then, that was very expensive, because I didn't have money back then. But I just said, hey, what could happen? What's the worst that could happen? Let's see what the interest level is. Let's just send out 70 CDs. And I think from 70 CDs, I got back 5 answers
Okay.
by email.
Really good percent of answers. Like,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah, it was okay because people saw, hey, this guy, he puts in effort. He actually wrote a letter with it, and actually tried to find out what the name of the A&R is.
You can see the love, no, on the process
Exactly.
that you did it, no?
Exactly. And maybe that's an advice that's really important, is don't just send an email with like, hey, listen to my demo or something.
Yeah.
Like really try to find out who the A&R is. If you can somehow, what's their first name. And then it's already much better if I send you the email, hey, Alberto,
how you
I have some music for you. Maybe you like it. I know your stuff. That already sets you apart from a lot of other people who just don't care, and put in some love in the demo and just try your luck. Send it to the big ones, and maybe you get lucky. I got lucky a couple times early in my career, where I just said, fuck it, I'm just gonna try it. And it worked out. And then at some point, once you develop a little bit of a name, then people
start to listen to
start
you
to
more.
listen to you more. Exactly.
Exactly. I always think the same, no? Like just knock the door and maybe it will be someone to open it. So just do it. Okay, we talk about your routine, and we want to know like how is Emanuel Satie life in pandemic life since we started lockdown last year. Like something changed on your routine, or like I don't know, what is your present project? So are you planning something for the upcoming rest of the year, for the coming months? Do you have something on mind? What's going on?
Well, my routine, except for the weekends,
Yeah.
didn't change much. I'm still, I'm spending most of my time in the studio making music and working. Obviously, the weekends now are very different. It's a very different tempo. I feel like life is much slower now. You have much more time just because the Friday, Saturday gig is cut out. But other than that, to be honest, things during the week, things didn't change too much for me.
Great.
When it comes to future projects, I mean, my main project right now is I'm working to set up my label.
Nice.
And
Great.
Yeah, I'm working on this since last year.
How's it going?
Yeah, good, but it's still a lot of work to do. I wanted to launch the label last year actually, and everything looked good, but I was like, what's the point of releasing dance records when there are no dance floors open? So I delayed it, and then obviously when you delay something, you have more time to work on it. You develop new ideas. So now I'm again like, okay, I need to do this and that and prepare this and that. Yeah, remixes, other releases, and several other things. Yeah.
Nice. Looking great, man. Looking great, and I really wish you the most success with the label.
Thank you.
And talking about this kind of moment, no, what we are living, which is difficult, especially for the industry, and that we had so many streamings, man. Like that was a moment that was too much, and I think, like also like really unprofessional people doing the streaming like without because it's what we talk. When you do something, you need to have a purpose and to know why you are doing the thing, not just to do it. So how do you prepare your streamings? Like, did you like take really always in a professional way, but how do you handle the streamings? Like, are you doing a lot, or for you in one moment it was okay, it's too much, or you were like really picky with the streaming which you did it? How was for you?
I was, in the beginning, I was quite anti-streaming and was very picky. I only did, I think last year I only did 2 streamings in the whole year, and that was only for one was for Cocoon, my home label, and the other one was for La Feria, a club in Chile.
Yeah, in Chile, exactly. Santiago, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, and but now I'm kind of realizing that this pandemic is still going on and going on and on and on and on. Streaming is also just one of the rare occasions where you can just DJ and kind of have an audience.
And try music again.
And try music.
Promote new things, whatever.
Yeah. And so me, I really enjoy doing it now, because it's the closest I can get to DJing for an audience. So I do it more now, and it ranges from streams that are really high effort with some nice production, a green screen, but it can also be like now we did a stream. Now we did a stream just in my bedroom.
Really nice.
Yeah, because I was like, hey,
why not?
Let's have a party at home.
Why not?
You know?
Why not?
Let's have a bottle of Prosecco and
fun
and do it in my bedroom. You know, I thought that's fun. So I think I don't take streaming too seriously. It's it's something that's just fun and that I enjoy doing. But I think one positive aspect that's gonna come out of streaming is that I think it's very possible, and there's an opportunity to open up a second stream of income, even when shows are returning again.
Of course.
Because people are now so used to streaming, and everybody has a setup now. Everybody knows how to do it. People are just used to it. And
Twitch changed a lot the thing you are now. Like give the Twitch give you the chance also to make the streaming and to have some revenue for the DJs, in terms of money, especially right now that we cannot play.
Yeah, but what I mean is, what I think is going to happen is that even when things return, let's say, for example, a big festival, let's say Tomorrowland. So Tomorrowland, there's a certain amount of tickets and not everybody can go to Belgium, but people would still like to go there. So Tomorrowland can also stream the event and people can buy an online ticket for the event. So now you have the crowd that's already physically there, but you also have a crowd online that can watch the festival. And I think that's actually very interesting, because you can enlarge your audience by
millions and millions.
You can multiply it. And I think that's one of the positive aspects that can come out of the whole Corona and streaming thing.
Give the chance to people, like they cannot go to the festival, join from home, no?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, so talking about networking, that right now is really important, not only make music, that for me is also the main thing for us, for music producers, but also like to get in contact, because when they book you in a gig, it's not only just go out play, it's also like to build it up your own relation with the promoter, like going for the dinner, like have a good chat. How important you will say is networking for you right now in this moment?
Well, right now, I would say it's quite difficult, because the only way to do it now is online and
social media.
Yeah, and but normally, I think it's super important. I think it's people like to work with people that they like and that they have a relationship with, and it's not only from a business standpoint or like networking standpoint. It's also just, I think that's just the best way to go through life and to go through your profession.
Completely agree, man.
Yeah, to have fun, to connect to people, and I think that's super important, and I love the feeling when I come back to a city the second time. First time I come as a stranger, and the second time I already come as a friend. I love this feeling.
It's a beautiful feeling, of course.
Yeah, and through this you just kind of develop this worldwide family, friend circle, and the rest takes care of itself. I don't think the only thing I would say for networking is never be one is what I just said, is just keep it organic, just don't overthink it.
Exactly.
I need to talk to this person because this person can do something for me, but no, like we all share the same passion, and it's just fun to have a good
be
relationship.
natural, no?
That let's just have fun and have a good time with each other. And the second thing is, don't be afraid to ask. Like you need to. That's a good one. That is a good one. Yeah, you need to. You need to be willing to be disappointed. So just always ask for hey, can you, I don't know, can I play at your party, or can I release on your label? Are you interested? Can I remix your track? You know, who cares? Like if the person says no, it doesn't matter. But you gotta be prepared to hear no 9 times to get 1 yes, kind of, you know. And yeah, I think especially in the beginning that's super important, because if you don't risk getting a no, then you also don't get so many yeses. So yeah, I think that's one to keep in mind.
Actually, I'm really happy that you talk about this topic, because that was the next question. So you read my mind. Okay. It was like, it's important to know, to accept a no. Yeah. And to ask, and don't be afraid if someone, because there's so many people, especially this is an advice for the newcomers or the people who just get into the industry, like just ask and be okay if someone tell you no, a negative answer, you know. And because there's so many people who, I would not say like they get depressive, but they get really like they don't like me or they don't wanna. So it's really great that you talk about it, because before you will get a yes, maybe you need to have 9 no's or like 10 or whatever.
Absolutely.
No?
In fact, I think you should even trick your brain and say a no is a good thing, because it means that you risk something. You're one step closer to a yes now. You need to retrain your brain and be proud of every no you get, because you put yourself out there, you took the risk, and that's really important. But this, like, I think what's even more important is that you invest in yourself, that you spend a lot of time getting better, because it's also not the way to just go around asking people for things but having nothing to offer.
It happened to me sometimes, but you learn from that. Of course, you learn from that.
So I think the most important thing is to every day try to learn something and improve yourself, in even if it's just a tiny little thing, like learn something new about music, you know, learn something new about business, learn something new about marketing, branding, whatever. But just every day try to become better at what you do, and then eventually people come to you and ask you if you want to work with them, because you're just really good now at what you do.
This is what we talk, like sometimes it's just natural thing, like just like people come to you, like don't force yourself to something. It's just like, let's say how we talk, no, like just follow the flow and follow the vibe, I would say, no. Okay, and how is Emanuel Satie relation with social media? Did you have fun? Did you like it, or it's like not your business really, or you are doing because we need to do it somehow?
It's a mix of all of these things you just said. So I used to be, to be honest, it doesn't come very natural to me. I remember when people started just posting selfies, I always thought that's really weird that people do that. And then of course I needed to get out of my comfort zone and learn how to do that. And hey, it's important. People need to see who you are.
They want to know you and your life somehow.
So it's kind of a skill that I mastered, or I learned.
Develop also,
somehow. And but it doesn't come natural to me. But I'm at the point right now where I'm not doing too much, especially now during the pandemic. Maybe I do one posting a week. Every social media advisor says, "Oh my God, that's not enough."
It's not enough.
But I think nobody needs to see me just trying to come up with content and I mean it's once a week, or when I have good ideas, or when there's a lot of stuff going on, I do more. But
you have more material to publish.
But I don't. I used to do that, to really like do 3-4 posts a week, or try to do something every day. But especially now during this pandemic, I'm like, no, I'm gonna focus on the things that are gonna matter the most long term, which is making music, building the label. But on the other hand, social media is also really fun. It's really fun to engage with people online, and you meet really cool people online also, and you get feedback for your tracks, and yeah, I think it's also quite fun. But I took a little bit the pressure out of this. Okay, every second day there needs to be new content, because then it wasn't fun for me anymore. I was just like trying to come up with some influencer post, and I was like, that's not me.
Yeah, because somehow we feel like we should be not only artists, that should be also like influencer, like somehow to give outputs. Like you feel this pressure, like I need to post today, and you put your brain in this situation, like maybe you block yourself, and then maybe for this social media stuff you don't really take your energy to make music, to develop your label, so it's a little bit tricky.
Exactly, it's what you're saying, and I think there's no clear-cut answer. I think it really depends on your personality and where your strengths are. Some people are just naturally, they're just naturally into it. They just love, being on social media, and for those people, I would say do that more, because that's what you're having fun with. That's what you're passionate about.
Your skills.
This is your skill set. Do that more. But my social media was never the reason why I had any success in music. It was always the music. So I need to focus more on my strengths and allocate more of my time towards my strengths, which is making music. And the social media thing is I'm just doing enough and trying to do it good, but I'm not focusing too much on it.
Music is the real love, no?
Yeah, that's the real love for me.
Okay, and just like to finish the interview, just last two questions. What you will say to newcomers, to people who really want to enjoy the industry, who really want to start in this, I would say wonderful world, but sometimes also hard.
Yeah.
What is your advice for them?
Well, I would say just be patient. It takes a lot of time. If you don't really want it, then you're probably not gonna have that patience. You really, really have to want it, and have fun doing it. Enjoy the process also. Don't be impatient. Say, I want to already play all these festival shows, and I want to play the main time slot. I don't want to play warm up or something. No, like really, and try to enjoy the way.
Yeah.
The process.
I always say enjoy the journey, no?
Enjoy the journey.
Every single step, you know?
Because, and at the same time also trust the process. Like trust that the energy you're putting in right now is gonna have a reward for you later. And I would say the most important. I mean, there's so many lessons to learn. Like I couldn't now in 5 minutes say, do this, do that, but maybe one thing that goes back to what I said earlier is, try to improve every day. Try to learn something every day. Make music every day, or do something to come closer towards where you want to be every day. Doesn't matter if you're working a job on the side or whatever. No, like really, you have to make the time to do something every day, to learn every day. Like this MBA school, for example, is a great way to start. That's where you also get to know other people. You make the connections. You learn a lot about the industry. That's such a head start.
Yeah, exactly.
Compared to other people who just have to kind of figure out stuff by themselves. And and also one very important aspect is is that you can't do it alone. Like, yeah, don't be the lone wolf that's trying to do everything on its own.
Teamwork, and
Yeah,
have
teamwork
a team
is
surrounded by also like family, friends, people who love you and support you and carry on
Yeah.
when you are like maybe
yeah,
not in your
absolutely.
best shape. You know.
Yeah, and find other people, like find other people in your town or in your community or online, that share the same passion and ambition as you, and just partner up with them, you know. And don't try to do this on your own. Yeah, work with other people, have fun.
Good advice,
That's
man.
it.
Good advice. And the last one, there is something that you regret, any mistake that maybe you did back in the days that now with the time you say to yourself, why I did this, or like, or you are not someone who regret nothing in your life, or there is
No.
something that you will say, nah.
Yeah, I made so many mistakes. I mean, some things I still remember, and I'm just like, oh my God, Emanuel, like still now, like still like years after the fact. But I think the thing is that some lessons have to be painful for you to not repeat them. So I think everybody knows that of themselves, that they have this thing that where they're still like, wow, why was I so stupid to do that? But you can be sure that you're probably never gonna do that mistake again.
Exactly.
And if you wouldn't have done that mistake, you probably would do it another time. So yeah, I have a lot of things that I regret, a lot of mistakes that I make where I was like, wow, that was really stupid. But at the same time, that's just normal. That's part of the process. And you just gotta accept that, learn your lesson, make sure you don't repeat that mistake again, and move forward.
Yeah, actually, this is a good highlight to finish the interview. Learn from the pain, how you say, for the painful situations. So thanks a lot.
Embrace the pain.
Yeah,
you know?
man, completely. You need to do it. So thanks a lot, Emanuel, for everything, for the good time, for hosting in your studio.
Yeah,
Hope you had a good time.
My pleasure.
See you soon.
Can we use that as the title for this interview? Embrace the pain.
Embrace the pain. No. Embrace the pain. No. Okay. So thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Ciao.